Welcome, White Lightning agents, to another episode of Counterintelligence. Reporting from the undisclosed location, I am JP Deovando, and joining me today are Kyle C. Sullivan and Ethan Gelinas. This week we gathered intel on lucid dreaming, a phenomenon in which you become aware that you are in a dream and are able to freely explore and control the dream world, which sounds like a great movie. Can't think of any, though. Vanilla Sky, maybe. The first scientific evidence for lucid dreaming came from Dr. Keith Hearn of Hull University in 1975. His subject, Alan Worsley, was instructed to send a predetermined signal via eye movements when he realized he was in a dream in order to confirm that he was conscious. Nevertheless, lucid dreaming was still not widely considered to be a real thing until the invention of MRI machines a few years later, which allowed scientists to monitor and compare brain activity during different states of sleep. Scientists at UC Berkeley have taken it a step further by developing a mind-reading software that was able to generate an image of the movies they were watching from the signals in their own brains, presumably after saying, "You know what I'd like? A reverse superpower."
When I first heard about this, I wasn't fully convinced that it was actually a real thing, as I think most people aren't.
You do a lot of things that aren't real things, though.
That's true. But it seemed weird, because everybody would say, like, if you're in a lucid dream, it feels as real life. Like, right now. How you feel right now, sitting where you are, watching this on a screen and looking around and touching things, it's supposed to feel that realistic and that detailed. And I just had trouble buying that until I had one. And it was totally correct.
Please do not wake up, because we will all disappear.
Please.
If you've imagined our entire existence, you have very active imaginations, though. Good job.
Oh God.
But yeah. So can I cover my one lucid dream that I had?
Go for it.
I finally managed to do it, and it's something that you kind of have to. You don't have to intentionally do it, but it helps if you kind of follow this certain routine that puts you in the right mindset to have them. And I was vaguely kind of thinking about it more, so at one point I was dreaming, it was like, hey, I'm dreaming, and was able to keep myself stuck in the dream. And so I spent the time I was there, just checking all of the tells, because I was curious to see if they worked. And because it turns out, as you probably looked up, brains basically work the same way, so the same things don't work in everybody's dreams. It's like there are certain set rules that are basically consistent. So actually, I'm kind of curious. Tell me which ones you found, and I'll confirm whether or not I tried those.
One thing that's weird is that printed text does not work.
No,
every time that you look down, like if you have a newspaper in your dream, every single time you look at it, you either can't read it because it'll just be jumbled symbols that you really can't make out, or it'll say, like, you can kind of read stuff from it weirdly. It won't say the same thing. It's
mostly context, because that was one of the things I did was check a computer screen, and I could read each word, but it didn't form a sentence. It was just nonsense. And then my go-to check is checking my watch.
The time just changes
because I looked at it, and it was like all 20s, which isn't even a number that's on a watch. So,
wow.
One thing is mirrors don't work, apparently.
I woke myself up with the mirror, actually. That was what ruined it for me.
What happened?
Well, I don't know if this may have only happened because I was expecting it to, which is a weird thing. But I'd heard that mirrors will return a weird distorted version of yourself.
Oh, that's creepy.
And so it may have just been because I had read that, and so I thought that was what was going to happen. But it's what happened, and it scared me awake because it was this weird horror movie thing in the mirror.
Oh, jeez.
It's like Luigi's Mansion.
And that was it. But yeah, the first thing I did was I got down on the floor and could see the carpet fibers and stuff. It was Inception was actually I think it was a pretty good representation of it.
Yeah.
It was an action movie version representation of it, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
So what about you? Because you've done it more than me.
Yeah,
right?
I've had several lucid dreams, but I always have an incredibly hard time staying asleep once I realize I'm dreaming.
It is hard. That was the longest. The one I just described was the longest, and I think dream time, it felt like about 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, as soon as I realize that I'm dreaming, I can already feel my body in my bed, and I struggle to stay in this dream. And I recently looked up the best ways to stay.
I have one that I do. Let's see what
And,
yours are.
The biggest one I read was just spin around.
I spin around and I rub my hands together at the same time.
I
'Cause
wonder.
focusing on both of those and trying to keep both motions going keeps you like locked. It makes you not really pay attention to the dream. It's
I
like
see.
it just keeps you focused on some physical action.
I need to try that next time, because I don't think I've ever stayed in a lucid dream for more than like 30 seconds to a minute after realizing I was dreaming.
And there are some people that like make a whole habit of this. Like you can, because there are two main steps actually to the whole lucid dream thing. One is recognizing you're dreaming, and one that's just as important is training yourself to remember your dreams better. Because if you have lucid dreams and then don't remember them, there's not really a point in it.
Well, the point is, like, dream journals are a big help in that, because it's a fact that when you wake up,
Your brain just deletes the information.
You forget your dreams faster the more you move.
Yeah.
So you get up and you had a crazy dream. Like, as soon as you move around and get up, you're much more likely to not remember your dream. So it's best to just, like, when it's fresh on your mind, just get your journal out and write everything down if it's something you wish to remember, because it'll be gone.
And the main thing, by doing that, you're retraining your brain that information is important. And so even if you don't want to do like the lucid dreaming part and just want to remember your dreams better, you can do that. But yeah, it's like what he said. Like before you ever even move, just repeat your dream to yourself a few times to get it down, and then write it down real fast. And if you keep doing that,
Your subconscious will.
Yeah,
kind
you
of,
train your subconscious to be like, I'm supposed to hold on to that. Don't just throw it away immediately.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of retain the memories better. But yeah, supposedly you can do a lot of crazy stuff in the dreams because you just like you have full control over it and stuff.
Yeah, like the weird sex stuff you're thinking about.
I wasn't. I just knew that everybody else was going to be thinking about that.
Oh yeah, rubbing your hands and moving in a circle, huh?
Is that weird sex stuff?
I don't know. Kyle, it could be in weird Kyle Plant dreams.
Like okay, think about the list I made. Which of those things do you think really came from my brain?
Fighting ninjas alongside
Weird sex.
There
Spider-Man.
you go.
Doing weird sex stuff alongside Spider-Man with ninjas.
Just mix and match. Those are the
I
only
do
options.
that.
But yeah, it was like all the different ways to. You can find there's websites. There's a whole subreddit of it actually, where people just kind of give like advice on how to navigate through them and stuff. And I just think it's interesting just because of how the logic works.
Oh yeah,
it's
doors suck.
It's like a weird physical
Doors
version
really
of
suck in
psychology.
lucid dreams.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I heard sort of it wasn't the opposite, but I heard to change location at the beginning, because the problem is tricking your brain into doing something even though it wants to not, because it's not supposed to happen. So like flying takes a little bit because you're not supposed to be able to fly. That's not a thing you can do.
Yeah.
So your brain rejects that idea. But there are like workarounds for it. So like if you want to suddenly be in another location, don't just try to change the area around you. Instead, find a door and then decide what you want to be on the other side of it and then go through it and stuff like that.
I heard that if you try to go back through the same door, you just wake up.
And I think it depends on just how well
if the door stays there and you try to go back into it and try to go to the same place, you just wake up.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds a little like oddly specific. Like, why would that rule exist?
It's just because like I don't know, like you've done so. Like if you do a lot of stuff in the other room, like if you just go back through the door, then it's fine. But if you like go into another room or another area and you do something, and then like if you're trying to constantly remember that the door is there, you'll forget what's on the other side. And then if you try to go through it again, at least that's what a lot of people were saying. Like if you try to go through it again,
I think
I've
it's all
never
just
heard
about. Yeah, I haven't heard that either. It's just kind of like pacing yourself at first. And I think I've heard like the maximum amount has been like an hour or something generally that you can extend it. But yeah,
sounds
so
like you'd be tired when you wake
And
up.
also, it's best. You probably know this because you've tried to do it or something. But it's easiest to do it after you've already been sleeping a while.
yeah. See, the biggest problem for me is that it takes a lot of like waking effort
Yeah.
to actually accomplish the dreams, and I just don't have time for that stuff, so
Yeah,
I
but,
don't.
I mean, it's like easiest those times when you just kind of randomly wake up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and when you're about to go to sleep, that's like the best time to do it.
Some people get good enough at it they can just go straight from being awake into one also,
That seems
which
very
takes
Just
a
like-
lot of training. Like you can just lay down and go straight into a lucid dream. It's not something where you have to start dreaming and then recognize that you're in a dream.
That's really neat.
It seems
Yeah.
very dangerous.
It's
It doesn't sound dangerous.
Well, like, what if you wake up and you don't realize you woke up and you try to jump out of your window?
Well, I think that's indicative of a bigger problem.
But then you get all the false awakening stuff, and then I've heard of like sleep paralysis, which I've never experienced.
Oh, that's a whole
that's-
another topic.
That's
Well,
also
talking about,
terrifying.
I've heard descriptions of that, but I really don't even know what people are referencing.
Okay, so sleep paralysis. Are we gonna get into that, or should we
Sure.
stick
It's-
on this?
I mean, it's along the same lines.
Okay. So when you sleep, your brain releases something that essentially just kind of paralyzes your body so that you don't act out your dreams, and
That makes sense.
essentially
Is that what happens with
paralyzes you.
sleepwalkers? Like they don't get enough of that or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's essentially so sleep paralysis is when you wake up and your body is still in that state because your mind is still half asleep. So you're kind of still dreaming, but you're awake. And what makes sleep paralysis so terrible to a lot of people is that they cannot move. And then since they're still kind of in a dream state, they see like horrible, terrible things in their room. And they feel like there's an evil presence in their room. And it just becomes a very traumatizing experience.
This was the first thing you told me, actually, back in high school, is just come up with a way to check whether or not you're dreaming, and then just do that throughout the day, so that when you're dreaming and you're unconscious, you just do it by habit.
Yeah.
And then you actually are dreaming. So you're like, oh, wait.
Something's
Crap.
different here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mirrors
vaguely
all
remember
that.
telling you that. Yeah, like maybe wear a specific thing all the time, like your watch or
Yeah. Like I check the watch. I've heard other people like counting your fingers can mess up somehow.
An example I heard was just wear a rubber band all the time, and if in the dream
It's the
rubber
totem
bands-
from Inception.
Yeah,
like, that's where the idea came
exactly,
from.
It's exactly that.
That's
the
literally
totem.
what it was. Like Christopher Nolan is just super into lucid dreaming. That's where the
So
whole idea
if-
came from.
If your totem, whatever, is different, then you know you're dreaming.
Yeah.
Make sure to
Neato.
know where your beauty marks are, and if they're not there. No, like that's.
Is that really one?
That's one of
Did
them.
you read
But the
anything else that
thing-
we haven't brought up that we may not have?
It's
I have personal experiences. I don't have like
it's tough though.
much
Like
information.
you'd think that when you're in a dream, you'd notice something off and
Yeah, but
automatically
like
know
you
you're dreaming.
kinda
But
don't really.
when you're sleeping, the part of your brain that makes sense of things is like shut off.
Yeah.
So if you have like 7 fingers, dream you might be like, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
This
it's
is
hard.
fine.
It's hard to it's much easier said than done to do the whole totem thing.
Absolutely.
It's like when you're. Yeah. I mean,
I
just
have a
that.
new totem.
It can be a total mix-up of you're at home, but it's not your home. It's your friend's house from
But it's still
kindergarten.
your house.
And
Yeah.
your grandpa's there, even though your grandpa's been dead for 10 years.
Yeah.
And,
Grandpa, no.
and it's just all totally okay. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it's like someone's mad at you, even though you didn't like. There's nothing.
Yeah,
there was no
that happens
indication,
a
but you just
lot.
kind of like know for some reason that
Yeah.
person's angry at you.
So
And so, it's just training yourself when you're awake to recognize the things that are off, and then being able to keep yourself in the dream. Because the first time you do it, you almost always immediately wake yourself up because you're like, I'm dreaming. No, I'm not. Crap.
Yeah.
I have some personal experiences that are, I mean, they're not as exciting as like I haven't had like I've had like semi-lucid dreams in which like I realize when I'm doing something that it is a dream,
Yeah.
and then like I know it's a dream, but I continue to do what I was doing in the first place. I don't like free myself from that like,
Yeah.
on the rails dream.
Like,
state.
I'm dreaming. That's all right.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And every single time, it's usually when I'm in a fight with someone. Not like in real life, like Kyle, let's say you stole my sandwich or something, and I'm angry at you, and I go to bed and I dream that you stole my sandwich. No, it's like when I'm punching someone out in the dream or someone's punching me out,
Yeah.
I always go like, wait a minute, I'm in a dream.
It's probably
And then
because punching is really difficult in dreams.
Yeah, you
That is
just
the
feel
thing.
like you're pushing
So
through like
whenever I'm having a dream and I'm fighting someone, whenever I go to punch them, it feels like I'm shoving a wall into
I wonder
them.
why that is. I didn't look that up.
Or whenever you try to like scream in a dream, it's just like
You can't, like, the worst thing ever is when you're, like, in a dream and you suddenly cannot breathe. And you're like, this is the absolute worst. And then you wake up and you're, like, eating your pillow or something.
Yeah, yeah.
From JT Gop 7. I'm too lazy to look, but is DoodleCon still a thing? No, we stopped putting DoodleCon in the videos.
Or have we?
No, we're not putting DoodleCon in the videos. I can confirm we are not doing that. Yeah, I actually started forgetting near the end there last year.
Really?
It was fun to do though. I had a lot of fun doing the DoodleCon thing, but yeah, that was just a one-time thing. It was kind of cool because you guys would like call me and try to tell me like where DoodleCon was each
Yeah.
time we released a video and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I forgot that one time, and you were like, I can't find this one. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that was like a big deal to me.
We should, to Cressidia, we should still be shipping your DoodleCon statue out sometime soon. That one person that we know, that Ian and Rachel know, said she was going to try to make the glass-blown sculpture of it. So I'll look into that soon, see how that's going. If it's not, I will make you a different one so that you get one sooner than like a year from now.
From Storm Crash. Crash the Storm. I learned about so many cool looking games from this channel. It's great. And that's a bonus on top of the great videos. Great videos? Did I just say great videos?
Thank you. That's interesting to know that people use our channel for that, actually. That we're doing... Are we doing obscure enough games for that?
No.
But,
I mean, FTL's a little obscure.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cool. That's because normally I learn about all my games from another YouTube channel. So that's interesting that we're just kind of like passing the buck through YouTube. But yeah, we do indie games a lot in particular. Also because it's a nice community to work with, and they usually have their resources more available and stuff. Like, I can't really crack into SimCity and take their audio files out of it like I can with Faster Than Light. And I sent this one to Faster Than Light over Twitter, their development team, but they didn't respond. So you guys should tweet our video to the Faster Than Light. In fact, whenever we release a video about a game, if you want to, you can go on Twitter and send it to the game developers, because we're doing it, but if they get more tweets, they'll notice more. And I think they usually appreciate it, because...
Usually.
I mean, I haven't had anybody be angry with it, because we don't insult the games in our videos.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Like, we make a funny video about them, but we don't make them look bad.
Yeah,
which is
I've
why I
noticed
think
that's
so many
kind of a cool
developers
thing.
enjoy the videos that we make of their games. Like, what's his name? Lucas Pope. He made the Papers, Please. He made Papers, Please, and he really enjoyed that one and shared it for us. So yeah, send the videos around to developers whenever we post them, and also some of you have been posting them on various subreddits, and that's extremely helpful. So continue doing that, because we can't do anymore, because Reddit has well caught on to us, and it's difficult for us to go post our own videos.
Sasquatch at his computer. Good stuff as always. That extra time in production is really paying off. Also, that's a snazzy new intro you've got there. Outro you've got there.
Both.
Thank you. Yeah, the extra production time has been fantastic. Our old schedule was stupid, and I don't know why I ever did that. It was miserable.
Because it's exciting to see a new video from Fantastic.
I mean, it was
Productions
great for
once a week.
catching up. We produced 44 shorts
A lot.
last year.
Wait
It
a
is a
minute. If
lot.
there's only 36 weeks in a year,
All right, there's 52.
Jet
We did
fuel can't
44
melt steel
shorts.
beams.
And then we did the guards themselves for
wait, I said 36 weeks. It's not even right.
But yeah, the 2 weeks has been great, because I'm able to make the videos look better and also not hate myself. And also I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning anymore. So that whole combination of things has made the last couple of weeks
The
super relaxing.
of Kyle's butt life. Just his life is a butt, but now it's not. Because you get rid of the 3 butt things.
And yeah, the outro was I was proud of that. I was spent an extra month making that outro.
Which outro? Outro?
It's the end plate. It's the thing that every YouTube video has, where you can click on different videos and stuff
Yeah.
at the end.
Did you get rid of my song?
No, your song still plays. It's just a prettier looking version of it
It's
than our
actually
last
just the
one was.
dubstep remix of your song.
I legitimately looked into finding like an orchestra for hire just to see how expensive it was, because I was curious if I could like pay one a little bit of money to just play that little bit and have like an orchestral version.
Wow.
I did find websites, but they were pricey, so
Yeah, I would love to hear a real orchestra play my music.
that'd be pretty cool.
Is
If
it like one of your life goals?
you know an orchestra, give us a referral.
Or if you are an orchestra.
I could compose.
even if it's just like a school band or something. Like,
Yeah.
Cool.
I could like arrange something that would work better for an orchestra, because the one you have playing is just a music box. It's just one
Yeah,
of those.
I like that one though. I
Yeah.
think maybe just playing it with acoustic instruments, I think, would sound nice.
Thank you everybody for watching. Please leave comments for a possible.
Ow!
Okay, so this is like the 5th time we've tried to do this outro right now, and this is the one we're staying on. So leave your comments on what topics you would like us to research in future episodes. We will go research them and report back on what we find, and we will now take Ethan to the hospital to fix his eye. This video will now self-destruct.